Welcome back to Mavericks Research. This is Michael Merle. It is November 11th, 2024, 11/11, and we're back with another crypto market update. And holy tamale, just look at this. I mean, welcome to the dawn of a new age. Before we really talk about the market and what the future may bring, I really want you to appreciate what's happening here right now. What just has happened actually today. Yeah, actually it happened yesterday already. Because if you look at this chart right here, this is the total market, which is Bitcoin, including all the crypto coins listed on, I think it's on Binance. Not sure here. I think so. And so this is the entire crypto market. And look where we are. We've basically breached the highest level. We can't really say the highest price because it's a compound here in terms of participation. But, well, actually in terms of equity, in terms of liquidity, right? How much is in the market? Talking about trillions here on the side, yeah? The T stands for trillions. So we just basically breached the highs. And that is significant. I don't know what is, oh yeah, here, reset price scale. That's what we want. All right, because when I zoom out, I want to see everything. And, okay, we were actually a little bit higher. I just noticed in November of 2021. That's a long time ago. And I think we all very fondly remember that time. 2021 was really when anything seemed possible. And then, well, what we got presented with was a raging bear market that drove us all the way down to, well, 16,000 in Bitcoin. 16,000 and change, I think. So here we are now, a few years later, 3 years later. Nearly. When is that? Actually, that was November. Yeah, almost exactly 3 years later, right? And, well, we've just breached this high right here. And very soon we're going to breach this. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And this is really the dawn of a new era for crypto. Because a lot of changes in the horizon, whether like the political change that's unfolding, well, not just in the United States, but also in Europe. It's something we discuss here because we focus on the market. We focus on how to be and become more profitable. And in that context, talking about politics is futile, but it's always important to keep the overall macroeconomy in mind. And the changes now unfolding, and also the perspective that the United States might once again be a major driving force in the crypto space. It's crazy. And I cannot help but sit back and I don't smoke, but I feel like smoking a cigar because if I look at what has happened over the last few years, it's been pretty brutal. And it's almost a miracle, actually, how well crypto and Bitcoin, especially, we're going to look at that chart in a second, has performed over the last few years, right? I mean, especially in the last year, 2023, yeah, actually, it's funny. Something always seems to be happening in November. Have you noticed that? Highs in November. The low here was in, well, this December here, but I think the major low was in November. Yeah, right here. See that? And here we are now, just pushed above these highs here on the total market. But if I look at Bitcoin, right? Take a peek here. Similar picture, right? Ignore those lines. We can actually, I think I can delete all the lines. Let me just delete them real quick. Remove drawings. Here we go. Because we got our own tools now. I'm going to show that to you in a second. But look, I mean, here we are, effectively all-time highs. I mean, we've left everything far behind. We left 2021 behind. And the one thing that has been puzzling me is that most of you have not been paying attention. And I'm not talking about you specifically, because you're watching this video. So you're obviously on the right track. Well, at least you're paying attention. That's one thing. But if I go, let's say, Google Trends, right? And I think I have it already up. Okay, that would be good. Or this is Apple. I don't know why it's doing Apple. Okay, Google Trends and Bitcoin. Let's see if that pops it up for me, right? Okay. I know I should have pulled this up before, but no. It's good. Here's worldwide, past 5 years. Perfect. Okay. And yeah, we're seeing a little bit of an uptick here, right? We're seeing a little bit of an uptick. That's November 10th to the 16th. So this is basically the latest reading. And we are barely over the 50% mark of what we've seen when, right here. That was actually in May of, this is May? What is that? I can't get my mouse over it, but yeah, it's probably April or something of 2021. Very close to the peak that we just looked at, right? So what I'm seeing, and my perspective on this is that the entire retail market basically has been sleeping this out. And it has been puzzling to me because I've been looking at the big correction that we just painted here, which was like a 6 months correction. But, I kind of know how to read charts by now. It's been well over 20 years I've been a trader. And when I see a sideways correction like that, no matter how volatile, or especially if it's sideways, not drooping down sharply, and if it's so volatile, I usually expect something really big to happen. And well, I've been saying this for a long time. And the best point to buy was right here. I think I told you that 2 weeks ago. And I hope some of you guys paid attention down here when I said, okay, there's a long signal. I mean, our systems have been long for quite a while, I think down here somewhere. We're going to look at that in a second as well. So, my point in all this has always been, and I've talked a little bit about this last week, what really helps you become or remain profitable in the market? Does my work help you? Well, I hope so, because, I've said a lot of things for the last 3 weeks, and most of them have been spot on. My systems have been pushing in the right directions. Everyone is making money. And we've really honed and refined our craft here. And we really focused on just one thing, being in the market, staying on the right side of the trend. Yeah, we talk about altcoins once in a while. I love altcoins. But why worry so much about getting these, 10, 20xers, which is fine when you can catch them, because sometimes, you can catch them. We have systems, we have signals that actually seek to catch those as well. But that should never represent the bulk of your trading endeavors, right? You should always be more like on the Berkshire Hathaway school of thought, in that, just stick with what's already going up. And what has been going up? Bitcoin. Well, but clearly, very few are paying attention. Well, they're starting to pay attention now. It's all-time highs, right? But where were they last week? Yeah, that's the last reading before that. October 27th to November 2nd, right? Look where we're there. Down here. Bottom of the barrel. Nobody's been paying attention. Yes, I know FTX has left its mark and a lot of other bad things happen, but that's really behind us now. And I think people really need to kind of wake up to that. And they will, because, FOMO's kicking in. I'm getting emails and, calls from people who haven't been talking about crypto for many years and how can I get in? Oh yeah, congratulations. I told you to buy at 16,000. Wow, okay. Maybe, but I told them to buy at 20,000, but to get my drift. It's never too late. The best time to buy Bitcoin was yesterday. Second best time is today. And that's the way I look at it. And if you really want to catch the swings properly, then use our systems, because they've been calling the market perfectly. They've been picking the swings like a running nose. Anyway, here's Bitcoin. That's our fancy tool. And here's the expected move range again for this week. And you can see how it extends. Remember, I finally fixed the issue with the open, high, low, close. Let's zoom out a little bit, get the context here. We're hanging in the middle of nowhere right now. So we have only the context based on historical volatility. And that's what we're talking about. I'd say that, we can safely ignore up here because there's no context. By the way, this tool will be available to anyone who will sign up to our super bundle, which will be made available to you very soon. Putting the finishing touches and all that. That is going to really blow you away. So this is just one of the goodies in the goodie bag. And it's coming before Black Friday craziness hits. Anyway, so that's the range. We probably don't want to drop below 70,500, which I really don't think we're going to do. So let's take a look at Ethereum USDT as well, because, that one blew me away. And I'm going to pull it up over on the other chart as well, which was here, right? Okay. So let's take a look at Ethereum. All right. Wow. I mean, that's just monkey crazy. I mean, it's just absolutely... I don't even know what to say here. I mean, wow. Talking about the comeback kid here, huh? I mean, it's just wow. That's crazy. I mean, wow. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I mean, how can you even see this coming, right? I'll draw a straight line here. I picked the wrong tool. But yeah, here you get the idea, right? I mean, this was quite a push, and it happened very decisively. See that? Pushed over these. This was a lot of resistance here. We've talked about this for a while. And it sliced through it like butter. And it hasn't even looked back since then. It's consolidating a little bit right now, trying to figure out where it wants to go next. There will be a retest, I'm pretty sure. I think we're probably going to go back, drop back down to 3K, now that it's above 3K. Right? Probably going to retest that level. We should. It's a healthy thing to do. We don't want to just keep going up and up. I mean, I'm not going to say no if it happens, right? I love Ethereum, but wow. I mean, remember just last week I was talking about this and I was about to kind of throw in the towel on Ethereum and, here we are. See how quick this can happen. And that's why you need systems that just do the thinking for you, that just take the entry, and that's what we do. Speaking of which, all right, so here we are. That's the context. on our comments, which is my fancy indicator I use for gravitas. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. Look how bullish that looks. Well, here's where we went long, right here. I don't know if you can. Let me zoom in a little bit. Don't know if you can see that. So yeah, I mean, it's just beautiful. Went long here. See that? I mean, perfect. Yep, got a little bit chopped here. Tiny bit. It did a really good job through all this. I mean, I'm really proud of the system. Absolutely. So here are the profits charts. We're over 108K now, cumulative, right? Bitcoin. And here we are. It's how much we made every year. And let's never forget that we made money during the bear market as well in gravitas. Yeah, I want to point that out. And here is the same view on Veritas. Basically, it's been in Bitcoin since down here, and it's just been happily following the trend, which is exactly what we need, right? Beautiful system. Love it. Yeah, I got hit a little bit here, but again, cost of admission, I always say. Same here. That's what we're looking at right now, over 43K. Just basically doing nothing. And this is actually a crypto keeper, which trades on the altcoin side. And yeah, I was looking at this for a while, and having just put together the system like 4 or 5 months before, and started running it live and having it update. This is actually updating live here. These things, right? I have all these URLs. I'm going to post them shortly. I'm probably going to do a video about the super bundle, and I want you guys to know what's in the goodie bag. But also going to point out we have Bitly links for everything, so you can just bookmark them or pull them up. They're easy to remember if you're interested in a particular system. But I've looked at this, right? And this is live. This just happened, and I was a little bit disappointed when I was going straight like this for a while, because here behind it you see Bitcoin, and it was just like not doing really too much. But again, this is Bitcoin, not the altcoin market. Let's not forget that. And the altcoin market wasn't doing so well during that time. So if I go back here and I just look at, let's say, total 2, right? No, total 3, just altcoins, right? So what we're talking about here is all this, let's say mid-August, it's when it stopped kind of and pushed sideways for a while until like just recently. So if we're kind of maybe drawing a line here and like say this is, I don't know what date it is. This is not a dynamic chart. It's just a PNG. Let's say, let's safely say mid-August, okay? Mid-August here. So here, actually made money through here, which just blew me away, to be honest. I was just like, I mean, any system that makes money in this is a good system, I would say, right? Yeah, with altcoins, I might add. And when the winds changed and it was kind of bouncing around here on the bottom, it was pushing sideways. But now it really is going along here with the trend. And this is good to see. It's doing it. What I'm more concerned about is consistency. What I'm especially concerned about is deep drawdowns. And this system doesn't seem to have any deep drawdowns. I've done a lot of data mining, data sifting, and slicing and dicing, and what I found really fascinating. So I wrote a system to exploit that edge, and it's been doing very well so far. My main concern always has been with the altcoin market is the high correlation. And I think I've solved that with this system because the entire sector is really moving in unison most of the time. Yes, there will always be some high performers when the market takes off. And yes, there will always be a few outliers that go monkey crazy, even when the market is not doing anything, right? This one new announcement comes out and boom, some altcoin explodes higher. It happens. New sentiment comes out about something. Maybe there's some hype around a particular coin. And all that stuff happens, yeah. And it's not something you build a system around. You cannot, not an automated system. This is something you trade manually. And again, as I said, we have signals, sentiment alerts, partnership alerts, all that kind of stuff. And if you want to trade it on an algorithmic basis, on a systematic basis, then, well, you need to make concessions. And I think the system is really perfect. No thinking involved. You don't have to do anything. You can set your watch to it. Boom, you're done. And that's how I like my systems. I don't want to have to do a lot of thinking all the time because I'm lazy. All right, so here we are. I'm pretty stunned about where we are. And honestly, I think mark your calendars because this is really, I think, the dawn of a new age. What's happening here is absolutely significant, and this is just the beginning. That's the last thing I want to convey to you. We're just getting started here. We're just getting warmed up. Yes, it's the first excitement, the first really crazy push higher. There will be difficulty ahead. There will be roadblocks. There will be some wiggles in the market. Nothing moves unidirectional in the market for very long. Okay? So before I wrap up this video, I wanted to share some parting thoughts. I truly believe that this is the dawn of a new age for the crypto market. I've expressed that view at the beginning of this video. And I'm dead serious about that because if you look at what has happened just now in the context of what has already transpired and the path that led us here, and also the amount of work that has gone into the entire infrastructure in terms of blockchain and DeFi and what have you, And even on the altcoin side, a lot of changes have happened. There's also more regulation. Some of you guys like that, but also we haven't seen anything close to FTX for the last year or so. So this is extremely positive. And the sheer notion of the United States again taking a leading role in the crypto market and embracing it as opposed to fighting it, which will have many positive aspects. There was the Wild West period in the crypto market, but that's quickly coming to an end. The industry has embraced it, which is a good thing. Hate it or love it, it's a fact. But also, it's one of the reasons why many of you are holding Bitcoin that's worth now with $80,000, which is absolutely crazy, right? Think about it. Some of us have bought Bitcoin at a few $100s. My first Bitcoin was bought at $450, plus minus. Wow. So we've come a long way, very long way. And we're heading now to the six-figure mark. And what we're going to be 5 years from now is anyone's guess. But with everything that's happening, I feel that we could easily see Bitcoin at $250,000, $1 million a few years from now. There might be another bear market in between. But I really need you to let the blinders go and not really focus too much on the short term. What really matters to us, especially when it comes to Bitcoin and the overall market, is the long-term vision. See Bitcoin potentially at $1 million. It sounds crazy today if I say that, right? Look you in the eyes and say, hey, Bitcoin might be at $1 million. Well, had I sat here 5 years ago and told you that Bitcoin is going to be at $80,000, you probably thought I'm crazy. Yeah. So moving forward, the big learning experience here, the big lesson, and that's really my last takeaway for you today. And I think it's an important one. And I want to pull up Bitcoin one more time. And if you look at this all the way down here, scroll a little bit more. This is pretty crazy, right? Look at the volatility. How do you survive that? How do you trade through that? I think if there's anything that we've learned over the last few years is that following your instincts, looking at gurus or social media for answers is really fraught with failure and losses. And it's not a functioning strategy. A functioning strategy is something that basically makes it easy for you, right? That does something like this, even during a bear market. That's a functioning strategy, something like this, right? So that's why I'm such a proponent of systemic trading, because I don't think many of us have the mettle, have the skill, have the staying power to really call these swings accurately without a little bit of help. Most of you guys have day jobs, right? So you can look at the market every day like me and do deep analysis and run the numbers and run the statistics and improve and, slice and dice and all this. This is what I do. That's my living. That's my calling. It's nothing else I would rather do in my life. I love it. So that's why I'm so adamant about building systems and building tools that help people like you come in here, and it gives you the edge in the market that you need so that you don't have to engage in guessing games. Because when I go on, let's say, Reddit or Zero Hedge, places like that, and I look at all the articles and I look at all the posts and the questions that are being asked, it's always the same thing. It's like a prayer mill, right? It's always the same stuff. And it's always like hindsight perspectives, which get you nowhere. Of course, now everyone's talking about Bitcoin. Where were they, I don't know, a year or two ago, right? Where were these guys? So that's all I want to leave you with. Just kind of ponder on that and keep that in mind. And yeah, I hope you take advantage of what I've built for you, because there's plenty of goodies coming. Gravitas, Veritas, and also CryptoKeeper. Just some of the things that are coming, and I hope you will enjoy them. And I hope that they will prove to be useful for you and help you in your trading when it comes to all things crypto and beyond. All right, that's all I got for you today. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.